I'm not sure exactly what day it is, but it's mid-September. There's a fresh rub.
I want to see what you
Right up here is a couple more fresh rubs. I'm just out with Walker here on the edge of the road, so seeing these, it tells me I need to get in here pretty soon. Here's another one. Walker, what do you call these?
Deer rubs.
You call them deer scratches, right? Really starting to come off these banks through here as well. Also noticing white oak acorns are pretty thick. After seeing those fresh rubs show up and knowing that acorns were dropping, I had a good idea of the area, and I was actually pretty excited about an opportunity to go Saturday morning. I knew that there was a pretty good buck in the area, and we were going to get a chance to go after him, it looked like. Now, we had deer on us as soon as it got daylight. We didn't get to do an opening interview, and these deer were coming in pretty tight quarters, which made for a pretty fun morning. We knew going into this that does were off limit this morning. My son Walker had a soccer game, so we didn't want to have to deal with it unless it was big. You're going to see we had ample opportunity to take good, close, broadside shot at some does Saturday morning. We were set up in a double-pronged white oak tree, and this deer came right in under us. It had to smell our ground scent, but she seemed like she was more content with gobbling up acorns than she was worried about us. This particular doe stayed around us for a pretty good while, and eventually she worked off, and that's where things began to get just a little bit weird. We started to hear some noises that we weren't accustomed to, and after that the deer came by, but they were acting different. There would be some does who ran by us with their tail up, and then they would come back shortly thereafter walking by us, and we wondered if they were on to us, but eventually we kind of figured out, no, they're working on by us. They never act like they see or smell us. There's something that spooked them down there that has to do with that noise we were hearing. Now, if we had been on doe patrol this morning, you can see how this would have worked in our favor. These deer were all around us inside 20 yards. We were actually moving around a little bit. They weren't paying any attention to us, but since we weren't on doe patrol, we were actually hunting for a mature deer. I think it kind of messed up the normal flow of activity, and needless to say, we didn't see any big horns come through the woods this morning. For the sake of keeping the video short, I'm just going to tell you that this went on from daylight till about 8:30 that morning. But there were literally deer moving back and forth for that whole hour and a half that morning till we decided, all right, look, something's up. Our curiosity was getting the best of us. We wanted to get down and go see what all that noise was about. I guess I'm going to let the cat out of the bag, but what that noise was that we heard had to have been a coyote taking down a young deer. We're going to show you a picture here in a second, but I wish we would have not torn the stands down, just got down, slid down there, and potentially saw them or maybe even gotten a shot at them. But here's what we found. It's just part of the reality of what we deal with, so we turn the page and look forward to the next thing, which is Western North Carolina muzzleloader season comes in September the 30th, and I'm getting prepared for that. It'll be a week or so before I get back in the woods, but I am looking forward to it. One thing's for sure, as soon as we get the opportunity, we're going to go hunt and see what we might run into.